Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I have a question about some family finances. My husband and I started Financial Peace University about a month ago, and in doing so, I uncovered some things about some family traditions with money that his family has that is making me a little bit uncomfortable. Like yesterday morning, he got a text from his mom saying, "Hey, you owe us $100." And that happens quite frequently throughout the year, probably maybe 5 or 6 times a year. I'm trying to figure out.
For what?
So there's a family lake house, and like taxes on the lake house. I think the most recent one was for the tailgate parking spot. Sometimes it's for, if we've spent the weekend with them, it's for food from the weekend, which we don't mind paying for those things, but it's an after the fact type of thing.
Is he one of the owners of the lake house?
No, he is not.
And the tailgate spot, that sounds like a football thing.
Correct.
So somebody purchased the spot, and if you use it, you have to pay back that person. Is that what it is?
Well, we have a different spot. We buy our own spot for the year.
Why would you pay for theirs?
Well, that's my question.
Okay. And why is it you're just now discovering this? How long have you been married?
We celebrated our 3rd anniversary on Tuesday.
Okay.
So how much does this amount to? Is this like $100 a month? Has this happened like twice in the year? What does it amount to?
So for the tailgate spot, it's $100, and that would be for the year. But it just always, it's never something I expect. And it's always been something that he paid until we combined our finances a month ago. Oh. It was something that he just paid for out of his money. And thank you to John Deloney, Building a Non-Anxious Life, because it really helped us to get on the same page.
Yeah,
with
that's
stuff.
good. Okay. So when you say to your husband, this makes me uncomfortable, what does he say?
Hey, George here with a quick interruption. If something were to happen to you tomorrow, would your family know where to find your life insurance policy, your will, even your Netflix password? Well, Knockbox solves that. It's a kit that organizes your financial accounts, estate plans, and everything your family would need all in one place. That way they don't have to hack into your laptop or locate some long-lost thumb drive. So leave them a legacy, not a scavenger hunt with Knockbox. Ramsey fans get the best discount available at knockbox.com/Ramsey. That's knockbox.com/Ramsey.
So when you say to your husband, this makes me uncomfortable, what does he say?
Mm-hmm. So he actually had a conversation with his mom last night saying, no more of this retroactive stuff of you guys spending money and then us paying you back. You need to have a conversation with us up front. And her response was, are you sure you want to do this budget thing?
Okay. That was not the statement. The statement was not about our budget. The statement was, you have to tell us in advance or we're not going to pay you.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
She doesn't get a vote on your budget or your marriage or anything that happens inside your house. She's the mother-in-law. Okay. By definition, that means she does not get a vote. If anybody doesn't get a vote, it's her.
Yeah, how does she even
Of all the people on the planet,
it?
she's the one that has the least chance of getting a vote.
Well, right.
I'm serious. I mean, the worst position you can possibly be in is to be the mother-in-law for the son. It is the weakest position on the planet and the most power-hungry.
Okay. And I do realize it's a difference in culture from my family. I was raised by a CPA.
But that's not the point. The point is your husband said to someone outside your home, we will not accept surprise billings anymore. And that's the end of the story, period.
Okay.
And by the way, you did do this right. He talked to her. You don't need to be brought up in this because you'll become the evil girl that took her baby boy away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I learned that from listening to your show for about 2 weeks now. So
okay. All right.
You.
So that was very good. Good. I'm glad you caught on to that.
You're doing it right.
And here's the thing. It's okay. I mean, you guys can be gentle about this. You don't need to be harsh about it because it's not a lot of money. It's just an emotional boundary violation.
Right.
And it's just Mom, we don't want to be in a parking spot for tailgating. We have our own. She got, it's the deal. And if we're going to do something in the Ramsey family, we got a lake house. I'm going down there this weekend. Same thing. If we're going to do something, and Sharon, my wife, gets tired of doing all the cooking. So she emails the girls, including the daughter-in-law and the 2 daughters, and says, whoever's going to be here, y'all need to talk about what you're going to cook because I'll help you, but I'm not going to do it all. and you guys we're going to figure this out a little bit. And so you're all like grown women and stuff. And so this is, and the girls go, okay, yeah, we'll chip in. And they don't mind doing that. And we talk about it up front, but we don't send them a bill 2 weeks later for catering.
Right. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. What do you think about the taxes on the lake house? I mean, we do.
Well, that's what I wanted to know about.
Why would you be obligated to pay taxes on someone else's lake house?
Well, that was my question because it's not. My husband's name is not on the house.
That's why I asked.
That was kind of my question. Yeah.
So you can pay the taxes on my lake house if you want. Since you're paying for other people's lake houses, I mean, why not?
Right.
That's about as dumb.
I agree.
When you asked your husband, what did he say? What was the reason? What
did he make a promise that he would do that?
I don't think so. I think it was just an implication. When they built the house, he was in college, and I think that's just kind of how it's ended up.
I mean, when you're in college and your parents build a lake house, they don't call up and go, you got to pay taxes. You're in college.
Yeah.
These people are weird. Okay.
And not the good kind of weird.
I know. It's not a good Ramsey weird thing. So, I mean, no, we don't pay taxes on somebody else's lake house. And I don't know how this tradition started, but it's a weird tradition and it really needs to stop.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's not a tradition.
Okay.
No, it's a tradition for these people.
I guess.
And so they have some weird things they do, and we've just got to, but you can be gentle about it, okay? I'm being a little bit bombastic because it's a little bit absurd and I want you to hear it's absurd. But you guys can be gentle about moving away from it. Mom and Dad, look, we're working hard on this stuff. We're trying to get ourselves out of debt. And it's your lake house, and I'm no longer comfortable paying the taxes on your lake house.
Okay.
And I want to let you know that way in advance, so this fall when the taxes come due, you're not caught off guard.
Is it part of you being able to go and hang out there several times a year? Is that what it is? Is it just the?
No, well, it shouldn't be.
Well, I didn't think so until I found out that was the expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the expectation. You come and use the lake house.
About a month ago.
You get to use the lake house twice a year, and in return, you pay how much? How much are the taxes?
I think my husband is. When I looked it up on the county records, it said something like $4,000 for the year, and I think he paid like $300 or $400 last year.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, do these people, they're not able to afford the lake house? Is that the problem?
Well, that's my. I told my husband I was. Like, if it's a lifestyle that they can't afford, then they shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
But and I try not to be critical, but when you dip your hands into our finances, then.
Well, how often do you go to the lake house?
Right to be critical.
Just you guys.
Maybe 5 weekends a year.
Yeah. If the deal is you don't get to go to the lake house because you're unwilling to pay $300 a year rent to use the family, in air quotes, lake house, then that's a decision you all can make. But basically, you're being asked to pay some of the expenses because you're using it as a rental.
Right.
And if you don't want to use it, then that's their decision might be that they don't want someone who's not willing to pay to come. And that would be okay. If that's how they want to do it. They're running an Airbnb for the family, I guess. I don't know. But a cheap one, but it's still that. But I've got a lake house, and I pay the taxes. Nobody else pays the taxes, regardless of who visits. Okay. John Deloney was down there one time, and I didn't ask him for any rent. So I mean, that's just you have guests at your lake house. If you do a deal up front, and the family is a family
and they understand
partnership to buy something, but you don't do that with a college student.
No, it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like they said, if you're going to use our house,
these people are very
you're give me some money.
And they don't have good, clear boundaries. And so it's time to untangle some of this. But now you need to be fair that if if you're not willing to chip in on the expenses, they may not want you to use it.
5 weekends is a lot to give up for $300.
And that's a fair expectation on their part. They may say, look, only those that chip in can use it.
Yeah, because then that's them saying, hey, while you're there, you're paying basically the utilities while you're there. I
don't think I could go there, but I mean, I do tell, like whoever's down there next weekend when I'm not, fill the dadgum boat up with gas when you leave. Hello?
Yeah.
I do tell them to do stuff like that. Yeah. But my kids, I mean.
Yeah.
My grown kids. That's such an oxymoron.
Adult children.
The adult Ramseys. Yes. the Gen 2. Gen 2 can fill up the boat. With gas.
You should leave the place better than you left it.
By the way, I don't also say you can't come back if you don't do that.
That's true.
Either. So,
That's true.
Storming and we forgot to do it. Whatever. Whatever. Wow. Some people's children. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.